guy has a problem with football. He knows nothing about football.
I'm stupid.
Why would you be talking to him about food?
No, what about I thought it's Georgia. I didn't concentrate reading the name properly. I'm sorry. Oh, so you know much about Ronaldo. Let's leave Ronaldo alone. Let's come to Prince Kumalo. Roblox. What is Roblox?
We don't.
I don't know what is Roblox. What is Roblox? I will distract you now.
Nobody know. I think what
Later I will know. Marking distract.
This is 3370. For subscriber.
Hey, no, I told you who do you break out at the moment in the blog?
Guy in the water, you. I just look at you.
I wake out there.
I think you money you get to here. Kama mtu ni huyu tuko na yeye.
Acha nikawakilisha msaada wako.
Ile mara uliniambia kuja kesho.
So I'm in live young man. Live na kwa you moja. Oh. So guys, welcome.
No.
We were talking about why Africans leaders are always everything in yake ndio na yake handa yako. So guys, this is my live session and please if you are
mara uliniambia kuja kesho. Kesho imekuwa mwaka. Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. This is Fiber Katwitwi and also this is Fiber Katwitwi, and we are here to discuss more about something we call ideologies between two races, and that is African race and also that of white people race. And you understand the reason as to why Africans have ever been it is because we have never been serious with whatever we do. Africans have never cared about the problems they go through. That's why they never find a solution for problems. That's why Africans are born tolerant, and that is why we are tolerating walking with foot. Until today, the biggest number in Africa has no cars. That means that because we are tolerant with the problems we are going through, we still don't need to have cars so that we can be able to survive this critical condition and this harsh condition of lacking a luxurious car, and we prefer walking with our legs. That is naturally we are given a natural power, that is walking by our legs. You see, when you go to those Asian those European countries, you find people with a lot of cars. You found people, everybody has a car. Even if you are poor, you still have a car. But when you hear somebody is poor in Kenya from Africa,
you are very rich.
You are very rich. You are naturally rich, because if you believe that when you are poor, you still have to own a car. My friend, kurundiwa. My friends, you really have a lot to be proud of. You still don't have to be like us. When you hear an African say that he's poor, my friend, that person does not eat. That person sleeps hungry. That person does not have clothes to wear. That person is passing through a road.
Hell.
That person is passing through hell.
And on my opinion, if you ask me, Africa is hell. And I think there is no any other hell. You people from other continents, if you ever hear that you are taken to hell, you just know that you will come to Africa.
Because when we go to political, you see the same problem is there. Politicians takes us as if we don't have brains.
Slaves.
They still take us as if we don't have. We are monkeys. We are mongoons, because they even do things that are very simple for us to forget the bigger problem we have. Imagine somebody have not built for you roads for a very long time, but when he comes with a little bread and gives you, you forget about the road. You are now thinking about the bread.
And you are clapping like an idiot.
You imagine a president insulting a simple person, saying just a single person saying that he is unable to protect his kettles. Whereas all of us Kenya, everybody owns a cow.
Imagine Kenyan president yesterday. He was doing politics in some part of Siaya. He was in Siaya yesterday. But during his speech, you can imagine a whole president giving a speech. He said that there is someone who wants to lead Kenya, and he had cows, but all cows died because they had coupe. What do we call coupe in English?
Ticks.
Because the cows had ticks. He said that if someone cannot be able to take good care of cows, he cannot take good care of people because his cows died of ticks.
You know, this guy is talking as if he is recommending whatever the president says.
You know, that was a big joke.
He's giving the president hype to continue doing whatever he's doing. And you can imagine whatever the president is doing right now is demolishing. To make sure that our country does not wake up. Our country remains uncivilized, because the president at his most level not come to this level of arguing with some little politicians and some.
He is at our level now. You see how we were insulting. Like for now, I can insult this friend of mine. He can also insult me back. That is what the president of Kenya is doing. They are insulting each other, and the first person.
And you are apprehending
the president of.
You are hyping him for whatever he says.
I'm not hyping him. I'm just laughing because I'm seeing him like he's in our level now. It's like he's my friend now.
That is the thing that we are saying that is making Africans behind. Stupidity of the highest order.
Ignorance.
You are hyping things that are not of any importance to you. Africans. That's now the difference between us and the white people.
Yeah, you know, we have a problem. So here I give you, because there are three things that kills Africa: hunger, poverty, and ignorance. Three things that kill Africa. And I think the first killer in Africa is ignorance. Because how do you tell me that the president that you elected comes in your area, and you cannot even check the infrastructure that he has brought, but when he comes with a loaf of bread and a soda and some insult, you clap for him, and you are very clear that you will vote for him again.
When you want to say, if you want to see and to understand how abnormal people are in Africa, you can just come to an example of a simple example from Kenya. You can see the way the president right now. Who is the president right now?
Do you know William Ruto?
Do you know the history of William Ruto? Do you know how, if you can describe William Ruto and the good things or the bad things he have ever done? Do you know to which extent we can go? Do you know that William Ruto was the cause and the main cause of the 207 general by violence? Did you know that William Ruto was involved in a lot of killings,
scandals and scandals?
Did you know that
he ate maize, maize seed, he ate sugarcane? William Ruto has already everything.
Had ever been the CS for agriculture.
He ate everything.
He was sacked by Mr. President, by Mr. Prime Minister by then time. That was Mr. Raila Amolo Odinga. He sacked him because of being so much looty. He looted the ministry to an extent that the country felt the impact of the way Mr. Ruto
was doing
or was looting the ministry. That is the same person we elected as the president of Kenya by right now. And you can hear some stupid idiots
clapping for him,
complaining that we have a bad person. We are the government of William Ruto is looting the country.
Now what?
Whereas they know very well that the history of William Ruto, they know what he did and they know what he has ever done. Why is it now you are complaining that why he's president and you are the same people
who elected
him? What do you expect?
And you had known his history. How would Adif change?
You know, some things I'm bitter of, very bitter of. You cannot tell me that right now the country is in good condition, whereas you know very well that the person who is leading the country is a thief.
He has looted everything. He has every tender, to an extent that today he's selling an egg. You can imagine he's competing with other farmers on who is to take the highest amount of eggs. A president selling eggs. What do you think about the farmer? What do you think about the common mwananchi? He has taken every tender.
When we say
he's selling everything,
that the tout had made them uncomfortable by stealing the seat and the wheels from the car, they just themselves give way for William Ruto to become the driver. That's what happened. That was a parable being given by Mr. President, former. And by the way, it came to pass, and that is now we suffering in a car that has no wheels and chairs.
The only balance that has been left of us is God.
Yes.
God
does not intervene.
That God intervene and use any method that he thinks is suitable to save us. Because where we are right now, we are in the hands of the Lord and nobody else. And nobody will help us.
But also I can see there's no reason for us, for God to pity us.
Because we are ignorant.
Kenyans, our heads are very hardened. You can imagine, even we go to the next election, some people will still vote for the same person.
Yeah, that is very true, because you've seen a lot of people are saying Tuta, and there is no reason as to why someone.
Why should you say it? Why don't you understand where we are heading as a country? When it comes to a point where that where people can start exchanging some filthy words with the president, you can from America. Thank you very much. You know what, we are complaining here in Africa because you can. We don't understand. We don't understand why the white people are so much ahead of us. I don't understand. Maybe black, you can just give us a secret of why. Why are we behind them? Why don't we be ahead? Why don't we be of the same level with the white people? Why are we suffering in Africa because we don't have the best technology as you there have? Please come up and tell us the reason as to why Africans are so much behind, even politically. You can imagine somebody with a bad history being re-elected as the president.
And he was elected by Kenya, more than 6 million people.
The people who know him very well are the same people who elected him.
And they trusted him for the big office. Like now, he's doing nothing. He's just walking like a common Kenyan, insulting each other. How would you do that when you are the president? There is an act of presidency where your work is to make sure that people are peaceful. You are improving people's infrastructure. You are working for the people. But you are going down to the level of exchanging words with common people, with common mwananchi, and you are the president. Why would you be doing that? Why did people elect you? It's too bad. That is very unfortunate. And that's why we are saying ignorance is the problem that has affected Africa. And if we will not come from ignorance, we as Africans, then there is no need of having African leaders. Why would you have someone very ignorant like you do? That is why we are always pushed backward in South Africa. If you go to a country like Uganda, the president of Uganda has always remained in the seat for the
longest,
for around 27 years.
40 something years, my friend.
Okay, if you go to Tanzania, if you come here in Kenya, those leaders are doing nothing and nobody is talking about it. In fact, African citizens are re-electing such leaders. They are re-electing them. You know, if they are re-electing them, that simply means if you can elect someone who was there, and there are people who are educated, there are people who can manage a country very well, there are people who know, who have run and have known almost everything, then you don't want to elect those people. You want to just give back the power to the president that was there. That is highest level of ignorance, because I believe in Africa there are people who are educated, and you know, if you want to improve as a country, you must be exchanging leaders, because how can you elect a leader who is very corrupt, a leader who is very ignorant, a rooter, someone who takes everything from you, and you re-elect that person back? Why would you go to that level? I mean, if there is someone who wants to improve any country in Africa, and that person is not given an opportunity, why are we as Africans not allowing others to lead us? We want to remain with the same leaders that were there before, and yet we are the one who go to the streets to strike. Yeah, why do we do that? If we were serious with our business as Africa and as Kenya and as East Africa, we need to come up with another leader or come up with another group of leaders, because we are used to these people. We know them, we know their habit, they have rooted everything. How can you tell me that a president of Uganda has arrived in Kenya, a president of Kenya has arrived in Uganda? When did we reach to that level? And they are elected by us, we as citizens. I think we have a problem. We really like ignoring. And you know, when you ignore and elect a leader, you put that leader in office to represent you for a period of, let's say, 5 or 10 years. When you take that leader into that position, that leader will not help you. So you will be going back to the problem that you had previously.
You know, some people have to learn from us. I mean us, like Kenyans. We elected somebody with anger. We thought that we were avenging. And we thought that we were annoying somebody. But right now we are suffering because
of our ignorance and
of using anger. We did not measure the capability and the capacity of the person we elected to be the president. We did not measure. You don't want to listen to me.
We did not look at the qualifications of the person that we elected here in Kenya. We just did it out of ignorance, because we believed that the previous president that was here was not doing good enough. Simply because the person who came up with a Bible and a memory verse. And the previous president, that person will first greet you. Your local language. Your local language. He will then tell you, praise God in your local language. He will sing a song in your local language. Then he will give you some few cash, millions. And he did that because he was aware that if by any chance he will get into the office, he will take his money back. And that is what he did. He took his money back, and now we are left suffering. Nobody has a listening ear in Africa. All people who are helping us as Africans ran away. In fact, Donald Trump, there is a time he asked this simple question. You as South Africa, you have always said that you are independent. And since you became independent, we have always helped you. We have given you USA, we have given you drugs, we have given you mosquito nets, we have given you almost everything. In fact, we also give you cash. Yet you say you are independent. Since independence in 1963, for example, Kenya, because that is when we got independence, why are you not standing on your feet? That is what he asked. And that was very true, because in Africa, most likely here in Kenya, we do not have infrastructure. And even if we have infrastructure, for instance, like the Talanta Stadium that the government is building, we make sure that as Africans or African leaders, we double or even triple the budget, the budget that we have. If, and you know, it's our money, as Africans, it's our revenue. You can imagine how our leaders are. They collect revenue. They tell us that the revenue is to pay them their salary first, then to cater for their expenses secondly, and thirdly, they will bring back that revenue in form of development to us. And by how they bring that development to us, they make sure that they make sure that they double or triple the budget, so that they can continue routing the simple the revenue that they had collected. We elect such kind of leaders, and you know, when we do that, because those leaders are used to politics, they cannot manage a country because they were taught how to root, but they are overseers, so they learned how to root. They will continue with the skills of rooting. There was a time in Kenya, I think it's last year but one, the Gen Zs of Kenya went to street to demonstrate, and they were demonstrating about a certain finance bill that the Parliament of Kenya had passed a bill, because they said that they wanted to collect more and more money from Kenyans' pocket, and because Kenyans, a lot of revenue was taken from Kenyans in form of taxes. Kenyans felt that if you go beyond this, we are dead. And you know, it brought pressure to the government, and then the demands that were there from the Gen Z was one, that the president needed to withdraw his minister. You know, Kenyan president played a card. He made sure that he has withdrawn all the cabinet ministers. And the Gen Z were very happy. Kenyans were very happy, and they thought that their demonstration had. But it was very unfortunate that when he was forming another cabinet, he brought the previous cabinet that he had. And he was very sharp and clever to an extent that he made sure he included the leader of Kenyan opposition into his government, so that he can be able to do whatever he wanted to do. And that leader was elected by people, 6 million people, almost 6.2 or 6.3 million people. 6.6 million people entrusted him. And that is why we cry as Kenyans. That is why we are suffering as Africa, because we are very, very ignorant. We have a lot of problems in Africa, and we elect leaders instead of those kind of leaders. We elect those kind of leaders instead of solving our problem. They continue creating more and more problems, and still continue enriching themselves. That is the major problem we have faced. And you know, I think Africans, we were born ignorant. We were born ignorant. I'm seeing that there are areas that the government is telling its citizens to vacate because of flood. The area is flooded. But you see a lot of people complaining that they have nowhere to go. Of course, that might be very right that they don't have somewhere to go. But you can imagine someone is telling you to die. You might die the next minute, and you are ignoring that fact. And you are running away, and you are telling that person, you want me to run away, where do I go? So you want to tell me that you better die in the area that you are in than run away. There are situations that we call emergency. In the state of emergency, you don't consider what you have left or where you are going. You just need to go. If you thought the enemy is here, you cannot remain here, because this is your area. you need food and money. So I'm saying this, guys, we need to be serious as Africans. We need to make sure that we have sent away all leaders that are in Africa and are in African Parliament, African Cabinet. Let us send them away. Let us create another government from the ground, and we need to create the government and have strong laws. We have strong laws whereby if you are seen doing corruption, you are killed, because corruption is the one in Africa. When you are elected in Africa, you just want to root everything. You want to make sure that you are named, you are in the list of those people who are very, very, very rich, and it is not your money, it's others people money that you are rooting. Another thing we need to add, we call brain drain. That I cannot be able to help myself, I need someone else to help me. If we are independent as Africa, why would we expect help from whites, and most likely from the United States of America? Why would we call ourselves independent, yet we expect help from others? If it's true that we are independent, we need to stand independent, because independence does not come from the word of mouth. You cannot tell people that you are independent and you are still relying on them. You are still relying on them. It's not
go away.
This person has not taken his medicine, guys. This guy has not taken his medicine. That is why he's talking the way he's talking. I know it's his time to take medicine, and after I end this show, I'll take him to his room and he'll take his medicine. So,
I don't want to talk about politics, because sometimes when I talk about politics, my nyongo become bitter, and I don't like the way people think that we as Africans, you are very wrong somewhere. Why you say that we should be independent, and being independent, we don't expect help from others. What kind of help? What kind of help are you talking about? You know, you can be talking about help and help. You know, when you say about help, other countries depend on each other. It doesn't mean that when you are independent, you don't need to be helped. And that is by maybe, you know, some countries like Kenya, we don't have petroleum, we don't produce petroleum, and that is the raw material that we need, and it is very essential in our country. That is something we need a lot in our country. So when you say being independent is having your own government that is controlling you, rather than the government that is being controlled by other people from outside. That is the only meaning of being independent. Being independent means that nobody should come out there and come and join the government to control you. You understand? It doesn't mean that you should not be helped. Saying that we should not be helped, it is very wrong. We don't have fuel. We need fuel. And there are countries that have a lot of fuel. We must get fuel from them. You see? Sometimes we have calamities that occurs, and we need help from outside so that we can get food and water and medical attention. So it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean necessarily if you are independent, you don't need help. You understand what I'm saying? I thank you very much for watching. Mr. Chiba, you can go out of this live. I don't want to see you anymore. You are making my heart burn. Unaniri angoro.
And if you want to remain here, just construct one sentence in English.
Yes, you know you cannot do anything when we come into English. That's why even you are not here. Can you construct any sentence in English? Can you construct any sentence in English, Mr. Chiwa? No, you construct any sentence in